Unit 6. Eating out. The Pearson family is having dinner in a restaurant tonight, and Jim Phillips is their waiter. Listen to the conversations.
Hi, are you ready to order?
No, not yet. We need a little more time.
Okay, I'll come back in a few minutes. May I take your order now?
Yes, I'd like some fried chicken, please.
Would you like French fries or coleslaw with that?
Coleslaw.
All right. And you, miss?
I'll have a roast beef sandwich with a lot of mayonnaise.
Okay. What about you? Amy, can you help me with this order?
Sorry, I can't right now. I've got an order too, but maybe Carmen can.
Carmen, can you help me with this order?
Sure.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. You have the roast beef sandwich, right?
No, that's hers.
Okay. Who has the onion rings?
They're ours. We're sharing them.
Why don't you just put everything down on the table? We'll figure it out.
All right. Here you are. Well, enjoy your meal.
Thank you.
Okay, whose fried chicken is this?
It's mine.
Whose French fries are these?
Excuse me, do you have any ketchup? I think this bottle is empty.
Yes, we do. I'll bring some right away. Is everything okay?
Yes, everything's fine.
Can I get you anything else?
Well, could you bring us a few napkins? The kids spilled some ketchup on the table.
Sure.
And could we have the check, please?
Yes, of course.
Now, listen to the conversations again and repeat each line.
Hi, are you ready to order?
No, not yet. We need a little more time.
Okay, I'll come back in a few minutes. May I take your order now?
Yes, I'd like some fried chicken, please.
Would you like French fries or coleslaw with that?
Coleslaw.
All right. And you, miss?
I'll have a roast beef sandwich with a lot of mayonnaise.
Okay. What about you? Amy, can you help me with this order?
Sorry, I can't right now. I've got an order too. But maybe Carmen can.
Carmen, can you help me with this order?
Sure.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. You have the roast beef sandwich, right?
No, that's hers.
Okay. Who has the onion rings?
They're ours. We're sharing them.
Why don't you just put everything down on the table? We'll figure it out.
All right. Here you are. Well, enjoy your meal.
Thank you.
Okay, whose fried chicken is this?
It's mine.
Whose French fries are these?
Excuse me, do you have any ketchup? I think this bottle is empty.
Yes, we do. I'll bring some right away. Is everything okay?
Yes, everything's fine.
Can I get you anything else?
Well, could you bring us a few napkins? The kids spilled some ketchup on the table.
Sure.
And could we have the check, please?
Yes, of course.
Do you ever eat out? Surely not every day or not every night, 'cause it'll be too expensive, right? Well, eating out can be fun if you eat with your close friend or family or acquaintance, some people who you like very much. Otherwise, it won't be much fun if you eat alone, right? But anyway, the Pearson family is eating dinner out tonight at the Chuck Wagon, a family-style restaurant. In the US, there are many moderately priced fast food restaurants which are suitable for family dining. The Old West theme is very popular at these restaurants since they usually serve beef products which come from the western states. Now about the sort of language which is used in this lesson. The following expressions from the conversations relate to ordering food, such as, "Are you ready to order?" "May I take your order?" "We need a little more time." "Can I get you anything else?" "Could we have the check, please?" Moreover, the word kids is an informal expression meaning children, and the check refers to the bill, according to which you must pay. Anyway, folks, if you still have some problems according to the words and expressions that you don't understand very well, you are more than welcome to ask me your questions in the comment section of YouTube. Now let's listen to these introductory conversations once more to reinforce our practice and for better understanding.
Unit 6. Eating out. The Pearson family is having dinner in a restaurant tonight, and Jim Phillips is their waiter. Listen to the conversations.
Hi. Are you ready to order?
No, not yet. We need a little more time.
Okay. I'll come back in a few minutes. May I take your order now?
Yes, I'd like some fried chicken, please.
Would you like French fries or coleslaw with that?
Coleslaw.
All right. And you, miss?
I'll have a roast beef sandwich with a lot of mayonnaise.
Okay. What about you? Amy, can you help me with this order?
Sorry, I can't right now. I've got an order too. But maybe Carmen can.
Carmen, can you help me with this order?
Sure.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. You have the roast beef sandwich, right?
No, that's hers.
Okay. Who has the onion rings?
They're ours. We're sharing them.
Why don't you just put everything down on the table? We'll figure it out.
All right. Here you are. Well, enjoy your meal.
Thank you.
Okay. Whose fried chicken is this?
It's mine.
Whose French fries are these?
Excuse me, do you have any ketchup? I think this bottle is empty.
Yes, we do. I'll bring some right away. Is everything okay?
Yes, everything's fine.
Can I get you anything else?
Well, could you bring us a few napkins? The kids spilled some ketchup on the table.
Sure.
And could we have the check, please?
Yes, of course.
Now, listen to the conversations again and repeat each line.
Hi. Are you ready to order?
No, not yet. We need a little more time.
Okay, I'll come back in a few minutes. May I take your order now?
Yes, I'd like some fried chicken, please.
Would you like French fries or coleslaw with that?
Coleslaw.
All right. And you, miss?
I'll have a roast beef sandwich with a lot of mayonnaise.
Okay. What about you? Amy, can you help me with this order?
Sorry, I can't right now. I've got an order too. But maybe Carmen can.
Carmen, can you help me with this order?
Sure.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. You have the roast beef sandwich, right?
No, that's hers.
Okay. Who has the onion rings?
They're ours. We're sharing them.
Why don't you just put everything down on the table? We'll figure it out.
All right. Here you are. Well, enjoy your meal.
Thank you.
Okay, whose fried chicken is this?
It's mine.
Whose French fries are these?
Excuse me, do you have any ketchup? I think this bottle is empty.
Yes, we do. I'll bring some right away. Is everything okay?
Yes, everything's fine.
Can I get you anything else?
Well, could you bring us a few napkins? The kids spilled some ketchup on the table.
Sure.
And could we have the check, please?
Yes, of course.
Alright, now it's time to check how much we understood the whole lesson by answering Figure It Out. Find 2 answers for each question. 1 example. Can you help me with this order? 2 answers. Sure or sorry, I can't right now. There are 2 possible answers. Now about the rest. Number 2. Are you ready to order? There are 2 answers. What are they? Part C is one of them. Yes, I'd like a roast beef sandwich, please. The other one is part G. No, not yet. We need a little more time. Number 3. You have the French fries, right? There are 2 answers. What are they? One of them is part B. Yes, those are mine. The other one is part H. No, they're hers. Number 4. Can I get you anything else? One answer is part D. No, everything's fine. The other one, part E. Could you bring us a few napkins? Exercise 2, match. 1. Could you bring us a few napkins? B is the right word to complete number 1. Now we should find the rest of the words to complete the rest of the sentences. Number 2. I'll have a hamburger with a lot of, what can we say? What do you think? Part D, ketchup. This is the right word to complete the sentence with the right meaning, of course. Number 3. You have the roast beef. Which word? Part A, right. Right is for the confirmation. So you have the roast beef, right? Part A. Number 4. Enjoy your meal. Part E. Number 5. Are you ready to order? Part C. Let's really celebrate. When was the last time you celebrated something? Do you remember? Well, to celebrate means to show that an event or occasion is important by doing something special or enjoyable. Yeah? To do something enjoyable or special when something nice happens to us, right? This is celebrate. So in this case, Emma Kovacs has returned home from a long day at the hospital. Her son Steve has stopped by after work. Emma invites him to stay for dinner. Emma Kovacs is a widow. Her husband died a few years ago, and let's see what happens to her and to her children on this occasion and what they talk about. Now let's talk about some words and expressions we have in this lesson. We have expressions such as if it's not too much trouble, which is a polite way to accept an offer. Another thing we have is I'll treat you, for example, which means I will pay the bill. Then we have it's not good to live in the past, which means you should enjoy the present moment in your life. Then the following receptive words and expressions also appear in the dialogue, such as widow, died, guess what, running an ad agency, celebrate, roast, oven, older, it's no fun, forever, as a matter of fact, moved, and the words like these. Now let's listen in and see what they talk about.
Let's really celebrate. Emma Kovacs is a doctor, and she's just getting home from the hospital. She's also a widow, and she lives with her daughter Eva. Her husband died 5 years ago. Steve, her son, has an apartment nearby and has stopped in to say hello. 1. Comprehension Dialog. Listen to the conversation.
Hi, Eva. Oh, hi, Steve. How was your day?
Pretty good. Guess what? I'm running an ad for the shop on the radio.
Really? Hey, that's exciting.
Yeah, an ad agency is making it. It's going to be ready in a few days.
Well, maybe we can celebrate a little. Are you going to stay for dinner?
Sure, if it's not too much trouble.
Oh, no, I'm just going to put a roast in the oven. I'm a little tired tonight.
Do you need some help?
Sure, you can make a salad.
I'll set the table. Just think, Mom, when I'm older and move away, you'll be able to go to a restaurant every night.
Oh, that'd be too expensive. Anyway, it's no fun to go to a restaurant alone.
Maybe you'll meet somebody. You can't think about Dad forever.
Eva's right, Mom. It's not good to live in the past.
Well, as a matter of fact, I did meet someone the other day. He's an airline pilot, and he just moved into the building.
Oh, yeah? What's his name?
Tom Anderson.
Well then, let's really celebrate. Let's all go out to dinner, and I'll treat.
Well, what a nice reason to celebrate. Figure it out. Say right, wrong, or I don't know. Number 1, the example. Steve's having dinner at his apartment. It is wrong, but what is the support for this answer in the conversation? It is wrong, of course, because he's having dinner with his mother and sister. Yeah. Number 2, Eva cooks every night. What do you think? The answer is I don't know. There is no information about that. Number 3, Steve's ad will be on the radio soon. What is your idea? That's right, because Steve says, I'm running an ad for the shop on the radio. That's why. Number 4, Emma doesn't like to go out to dinner alone. What do you think? Yeah, the answer is right, because she says it's not fun to go to a restaurant alone. Number 5, Steve's going to take his mother and sister out for dinner. What do you think? Yeah, that's correct, because Steve says, let's really celebrate. Let's all go out to dinner and I'll treat. Number 6, Steve and Eva would like their mother to meet someone nice. What do you think? The answer is right, because Eva says, maybe you'll meet somebody, you can't think about that forever. And Steve says, Eva's right, Mom. It's not good to live in the past. So the answer to number 6 is right. Yeah, the practical part of our lesson, your turn. Emma, Eva, and Steve are having dinner at a seafood restaurant. Act out the conversations, taking the parts of Emma, Eva, Steve, and the waiter. You're all familiar with this kind of task. Here we have some information, and based on the information that we have, we must make conversations, right? Look at the first picture on the top left corner. You can see people are at a table. Yeah, the waiter is standing, yeah, beside them. The information for us says the waiter wants to take the order, but they need a little more time. So what do you think we should say? We should say, we should act out like this, in fact. The waiter says, may I take your order? And they say, not right now, we need a little more time. Or in other words, they can say, not yet, we need a little more time. Or, not yet, could you come back in a few minutes, please? Something like this, alright? So, based on the information existing in other parts, make practical conversations. And by any chance, if something is not clear to you, or you have some questions or problems about parts of this, you can ask your questions in the comment section of YouTube.
4. Listen in. Another family is having dinner at the same restaurant. Read the statements below. Then listen to the conversation and say right or wrong.
Joey broke a glass.
Oh, no. Excuse me, waiter. Could you help us?
Gee, I'm sorry. I can't right now, but I'll be back in a minute.
What a mess. Let's clean up this water right away. Can you hand me some napkins? Sure, here you are.
Okay, ma'am, let me get this broken glass.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. Not again.
Are these statements right or wrong? 1. Joey broke 2 glasses. 2. The waiter helped them right away. 3. The 2 women cleaned up the broken glass.
Now let's see. Number 1. Joey broke 2 glasses. What do you think? Yeah, the answer is right. One in the beginning and the other one in the end, 2 times. And subsequently, the mother said, not again. The answer is right. Number 2. The waiter helped them right away. What is your opinion? The answer is wrong because the waiter said, I can't right now, I'll be back in a few minutes. Something like this. So it is wrong. Number 3. The 2 women cleaned up the broken glass. What is your idea? What is your answer? The answer is wrong because the waiter cleaned up the broken glass, not the 2 women. The answer is wrong.
5. Say it right. Practice this conversation. First, listen to the conversation.
Would you like soup or salad?
Soup, please.
And would you like French fries or a baked potato?
A baked potato.
Now, listen to the conversation again and repeat each line.
Would you like soup or salad?
Soup, please.
And would you like French fries or a baked potato?
A baked potato.
Now our grammar points. The first one is about count and mass nouns. Mass nouns are the nouns that we cannot count. Count are countable nouns with a, some, and any. When we use a, we talk about a single thing or a single person, and it is countable, of course. We can count it. But when we use some with the nouns, we can use both count and mass nouns, or in other words, countable and uncountable nouns. We have an example in the box. It says, we'd like a menu. Menu is countable, of course, and it is one, a single one. Then we have, we'd like some French fries or some dessert. French fries are countable, so some is used with that. But dessert is not countable, but we can use some with it too. So we understand some is used in affirmative sentences, both with countable and uncountable nouns. But what about any? Any is used in negative and question forms, yeah, and it can be used for both countable and uncountable nouns. We have an example. We don't have any soup. Soup is mass noun, not countable. We don't have any sandwiches. Sandwiches are countable, yeah. So any can be used with both of them, countable and uncountable. But this sentence is negative, as you can see. So the conclusion is A is for a single thing or person. Some is used for both countable and uncountable nouns. Any is used for both of them in negative and question forms. Now our exercise, number 1 says fill in the blanks with a, some, or any. So let's see what we can say. Do you want a sandwich? Yes, I'd like a cheese sandwich. Anything to drink? Just some water, please. So as you can see, A is used for a sandwich because it is countable and he needs only one, not more than one. That's why we use A. But then we have water. Water is uncountable, is a mass noun. We cannot count it. That's why we use some water, right? In the same way, we answer the rest of the exercises and test our understanding. But if you still have any problem or question, don't hesitate to contact me and to ask your questions. Alright? Now, about a few, a little, and a lot of. When we use a few, we talk about countable nouns, the things that we can count, and of course it means not many. Yeah, we are not talking about large number of something, right? Then we have a little. A little is used with mass noun, uncountable noun, and the meaning of a little means not much. And then a lot of. A lot of is used for both countable and uncountable nouns, and it is usually used in affirmative sentences. We rarely use it in negative form. Well, we have some examples. Yeah, in the frame we have with like a few onion rings, a few napkins, a few forks. So all of them are countable, as you can see. And of course, a few means not many. Then with like a little coffee, a little milk, a little help. So coffee, milk, and help are not countable. We cannot count them, right? Then with like a lot of mayonnaise, a lot of French fries. Mayonnaise is uncountable, but French fries is countable, right? So a lot of is used for both of them. So our exercise says Alan Wixer went to a party last Saturday. Look at the pictures and tell what food was served. Use a few, a little, or a lot of in each sentence. You can see we have some pictures of hot dogs, hamburgers, coleslaw, potato chips, and potato salad. We have an example. There were a lot of hot dogs, as you can see in the pictures. Alright, so let's see what we can say about the rest. Now the next point. Possessive adjective, whose. Whose is a question word which talks about possession, which asks about possession. And it can be used for both countable and uncountable nouns, or count or mass nouns. We can see an example in the frame. It says, whose chicken is this? So chicken here is not countable, yeah, because we talk about the portion of the chicken, right, to eat, right? Then whose French fries are these? French fries are countable. We can count them, right? So we can use whose to ask questions for both countable and uncountable nouns in possessive form, to ask questions about possession, right? For example, you are walking along a street and you can see a very nice luxury car. You're surprised and you ask your friend, whose car is this? Yeah? So you want to know who the owner of the car is. So it asks questions about possession. Now the next point is about possessive pronouns. They play two roles. One role is about possession, and the other role is about being a pronoun, replacing nouns. For example, in the frame you can see it's mine. So mine is used instead of, for example, my book. Instead of saying it's my book, you say it's mine, and in this way you don't mention the name or the noun book, right? So it is pronoun in this way. But as it talks about possession, as it talks about the ownership of the book, it can be possessive too. So it is possessive because it talks about the ownership, and it is pronoun because it is used instead of nouns. So we call them possessive pronouns. So you can see in the frame, it's mine, it's yours, it's his, it's hers, it's ours, it's yours, it's theirs. Or they're mine, they're yours, they're his, they're hers, they're ours, they're yours, they're theirs. As a summary, we can say we call these words possessive pronouns because they play two roles. The role of pronoun as a replacement of nouns, and the role of possession, to ask or to talk about the ownership of something. That's why we call them possessive pronouns. Alright? So let's see how we can answer this exercise. Now we have our reading comprehension about food and the history of some foods that we eat. It's interesting to know about that history. Let's listen in and read at the same time.
Lesson 35, Food Facts. Here is an article about food. Listen as you read the article. Many people think the sandwich came from England in the 18th century. Others say sandwiches are an American invention. The truth is that this type of food has been with us for thousands of years. It is only its name that is not very old. A British nobleman named John Montagu, the Earl of Sandwich, 1718 to 1792, loved to play cards and didn't like to stop his game for meals. When he was hungry, he asked his servant to bring him a piece of meat between two slices of bread. This way he didn't have to use a fork and knife, and his hands stayed clean. He gave the sandwich its name, and this way of eating soon became popular in Europe. Long before then, however, the ancient Romans enjoyed eating meat between two slices of bread. For centuries, people in the Middle East have stuffed barbecued lamb and other tasty things into pita, a type of flat bread with a pocket. A long time before the Spaniards arrived in the New World in the 16th century, Mexicans had their own version of the sandwich, thin round tortillas filled with beans, eggs, and cheese, and then rolled up. What country do you think of when you hear the words hot dog and hamburger? The United States? These kinds of sandwiches are very popular in the U.S., but they were not born there. Historians disagree on the origins of the hamburger. One story is that in the 19th century, many Europeans immigrated to America on the German ship Hamburg America, which served a famous kind of Hamburg beef. The beef was hard, so it was usually chopped up before it was cooked. Nobody knows how the Hamburg steak got between two pieces of bread, but the hamburger has been part of the American diet since the beginning of the 20th century. The hot dog also came from Germany. During the Middle Ages, European sausage makers developed local recipes and named their sausages after their cities. In 1852, the butchers of Frankfurt created the Frankfurter. also called the Dachshund sausage because it looked like the pet dog of one of the butchers. When the Frankfurter traveled to America, both its names went with it. Vendors sold it at baseball games, shouting, "Get your red hot Dachshund sausage!" A cartoonist named Tad Dorgan drew one for his newspaper in 1906. He couldn't spell the word Dachshund, so he wrote hot dog instead. This name quickly replaced the others.
Well, interesting, isn't it? Now, our comprehension check. Read the article, then answer this question. How did the sandwich, the hamburger, and the hot dog get their names? So, the answer is in the text. Let's try to find them. What do you like for breakfast? Another reading comprehension practice on your own. Some people are talking about what they like to eat for breakfast. So, the big question is, what do you like for breakfast? Olivier Bar, Nancy, France. Oh, that's easy. Croissant. In my family, we always have them on Sundays. We get them fresh from the bakery down the street. I have mine with a bowl of hot chocolate. Joanne Hill, Alexandria, Virginia. Just a soft-boiled egg, some toast, and a big glass of orange juice. I only drink 1 cup of coffee a day, and I usually have that later in the morning. Alistair Locke, Leeds, England. Oh, I like a big breakfast in the morning. Porridge, kippers, toast, and a good breakfast tea. What are kippers? They're a type of fish smoked herring, and porridge is boiled cereal. Sophia Vassos, Salonika, Greece. I like a simple breakfast, butter and honey on fresh bread and some Greek coffee. Sometimes I have yogurt. I put honey in that too. Tako Higuchi, Tokyo, Japan. When I have the time, I have a bowl of hot rice with a raw egg and then some dried fish. Sometimes just coffee and toast is good too. Juanita Mendoza, Monterrey, Mexico. My favorite breakfast is huevos rancheros. Huevos rancheros are fried eggs served with hot sauce on top of refried beans and a tortilla. When I have them for breakfast, I don't need any lunch. So, this was the question, the big question, and the people who answered this big question. Now our comprehension check. Say right, wrong, or I don't know. Now let's focus our attention on these texts and then try to answer the exercise. 1. Huevos rancheros is a big breakfast for Juanita Mendoza. The answer is right. What is the support for this answer in the text? It's because she says, when I have them for breakfast, I don't need any lunch. This is the reason. Number 2. Olivier Bar lives near a bakery. What do you think? The answer is right, because she says we get them fresh from the bakery down the street. Number 3. Olivier Bar has croissants every morning. What do you think? Yeah, the answer is wrong because she says we have them on Sundays. She says, in my family, We always have them on Sundays. Number 4. Joanne Hill has coffee with her breakfast. What do you think? The answer is wrong, because she drinks coffee later in the morning. She says, I only drink 1 cup of coffee a day, and I usually have that later in the morning. So the answer is wrong. Number 5. Takeo Higuchi doesn't always have time for breakfast of rice, egg, and fish. What is the answer? Yeah, that's right, because he says, when I have time, I have a bowl of hot rice with a raw egg and then some dried fish. So he says, when I have time. It means he doesn't always have time. Number 6. Sophia Vassos has 2 cups of Greek coffee with her breakfast. So, what do you say? The answer is, I don't know. Yeah, there's no information to support this for us. She says, I like simple breakfast, butter and honey, and fresh bread, and some Greek coffee. So, some Greek coffee. How many cups of coffee? We don't know.
Unit 6, Exercise 1. Listen to the conversations. Then write, that's right or that's wrong after each statement. Joe is a waiter at the Steak Ranch restaurant. It's very busy today at the restaurant. 1.
Are you ready to order?
Yes, I like the roast beef sandwich.
French fries?
Yes, please.
Two.
Would you like coleslaw with that?
No, I'll just have the sandwich and French fries.
Three.
May I take your order?
Yes, I'll have a chicken sandwich.
With mayonnaise?
Yes, but just a little.
Four.
Waiter,
Yes, ma'am?
could you bring us some water, please?
Sure.
Five.
Can you help me with this?
Sorry, I can't right now.
Six.
Is everything okay?
Do you have any ketchup?
Yes, I'll bring some right away. Can I get you anything else?
No, thank you.
Exercise 2. Follow the conversations. Mark the box next to the sentence you hear.
May I take your order? Not yet. In a few minutes.
Now, who has the hamburger?
That's his.
Yours is the roast beef sandwich, right?
Yes. And the cheeseburger and onion rings are Mary's.
Exercise 7. Listen for forms of the verb be in these conversations. When you hear am, is, are, was, or were, write the word on the line. If you hear a contraction, write the full form. 1.
Are there any telephones here?
There are some upstairs.
2.
May I take your order?
I'm not quite ready. I need a few more minutes.
3.
What's that?
It's an answering machine. Four.
I need a sweater. Do you have any navy blue ones in my size?
We don't have any in navy, but there are some in light blue. Five.
How was the chicken?
Good. But the potatoes were terrible.
Six.
What do you do, Anne?
I work in a bank.
Are you a teller?
No, I'm an assistant manager. Seven.
He doesn't play any sports.
Not even little baseball or basketball?
No, he's really not interested in sports.
Eight.
What's the matter?
I have an awful headache.
You should take some aspirin.
Put the sentences in the correct order, then write the conversation. Margaret is having dinner at Mulligan's restaurant. Here we have some sentences disorganized, and we must organize them to make a logical, reasonable conversation out of them. We have an example for the first line. The waiter says, "May I take your order now?" And then we must put the rest of the sentences in the correct order. Margaret says, "Yes, I'd like the pork chops." Waiter says, "Would you like anything else with that?" Margaret says, "Yes, a salad and a vegetable of the day." The waiter says, "The vegetable is carrots." Margaret, "Fine." Waiter, "Anything to drink?" Margaret, "Milk, please." Complete the conversation with the missing sentences. Mr. and Mrs. Golden are deciding what to have for dinner at a Cactus restaurant. Mr. Golden, "Are you ready to order, dear?" Mrs. Golden, "No, I need a little more time." "The T-bone steak sounds good." Are you going to have that?" "I think so. I just love steak. What about you?" "I'll have the T-bone steak too." "So we want 2 T-bone steaks. Would you like anything else?" "A baked potato." "Waiter, we are ready to order." This is how we can complete this incomplete conversation. Look at the pictures. Write an appropriate question for each one. The waiters and waitresses are working very hard tonight at the Black Horse restaurant. Number 1. "Can I have some coffee, please?" Number 2. Look at the picture. What can we say, do you think? "Could we have the check, please?" Number 3. What are they saying, do you think? "Can you help me with this order?" Number 4. What is the man talking about? "Do you have any ketchup?" That's right. Number 5. What is the waiter saying? "Are you ready to order?" Or, "May I take your order?" Read the restaurant review, then answer the questions. Dining Out by Alexander Hemsley. The Red Pepper. The Red Pepper is a delightful restaurant. You'll find delicious food, a relaxing atmosphere, and reasonable prices. I went there one evening and had lamb chops with fresh vegetables and a cucumber and radish salad. The lamb chops were excellent, and the vegetables were cooked just right. But there wasn't enough dressing on the salad, and the bread on the table wasn't quite fresh. For dessert, I had a wonderful cherry cheesecake. Unfortunately, the coffee was a little cold, and the waiter was too busy to give me another cup. For the most part, however, the service was good, and I would certainly go back again. So we have this ranking: 4 star meaning excellent, 3 stars means very good, 2 stars good, 1 star fair, no star means poor. Now let's see how good our comprehension is. Number 1. What did Alexander order for dinner at Red Pepper? Lamb chops with fresh vegetables and a salad. Number 2. What did he think of the salad? What do you think? There wasn't enough dressing. Alright. Number 3. What was wrong with the coffee? What is your answer? It was a little cold. Number 4. What are some good things about the restaurant? So what do you suggest? The food is delicious. It's relaxing. The prices are reasonable. The service is good. Number 5. How late is the Red Pepper open? What do you say? Yeah, it's open till 11 o'clock. That's right. So, as you know here, we must act out the conversation based on the information and the instructions that we have. It says, take the part of the waiter or the customer. We have some information about the kinds of food, the prices, and so on. And then at the bottom, we have some information on how to act out the conversation exactly. For the waiter, it says, ask if the customer is ready to order, take the order, repeat the order to the customer, ask if he or she wants anything else. After you serve the food, ask the customer if everything is okay. Then for the customer we have, look at the menu and decide what you want. Then give your order. Say if you want anything else. Then finally ask for anything else you may need. So this is a free conversation. Yeah. So you can act it out in pairs or more than pairs, more than 2 people, maybe 3 people, 4, 5, whatever. So it's all yours. Look at the pictures, write a question and answer for each one. Use mine, yours, his, hers, ours, or theirs in your answers. Number 1 example. Whose dog is this? It's theirs. Based on the picture. Number 2. What can we say? The man is showing a purse. The man says, whose purse is this? Then the woman says, it's mine. Number 3. What can we say? Whose hat is this? And the answer is, it's his. Number 4. Whose coats are these? The answer is they're ours. Number 5. Whose coffee is this? What's the answer? It's hers. Number 6. Whose car is this? What can we say as an answer? It's theirs. Right. Okay, that's fine. The Jacksons are ready to have dinner. Look at the food on the table and tell what they're having. Use some, any, a few, a little, or a lot of. Number 1. Example. They're having some water. Then what else can we say? Number 2. They're having a lot of French fries. After that, we can also say they're having a lot of chicken. What next? They're having a little salad. What more can we say? They're having a few carrots. And what else? They're not having any bread. That's good. Now the writing task. Read the letter, then take the part of Bob and write an answer saying what food you'd like. You don't have to have an idea for every meal, but try to give as many suggestions as you can. Bob is a college student and is going home for a week's vacation. December 4. Dear Bob, Dad and I are busy cleaning and getting the house ready for you. After all, you don't come home very often. Everyone wants to see you. In fact, all your friends are calling to find out when you'll be here. I want to be sure to cook your favorite foods. Please write and tell me what you'd like to eat. Try to give us a lot of suggestions. See you next week. Love, Mom and Dad. Now it's your turn to use your imagination to write and complete this incomplete letter. I wrote something as an example. So, December 11, any year you wish you may write. Dear Mom and Dad, I have lots of suggestions for different meals. For breakfast, I'd like ham and eggs with potatoes and toast. I'd also like to have some fruit. Then for lunch, I'd like roast beef with potatoes and salad, fried chicken with French fries and coleslaw, and fish with tartar sauce and vegetables. See you soon, Bob. Of course, you can write as many other things as you want. You can use your imagination and write about anything you like to eat or drink, your favorite foods, different kinds of foods. Alright? Good work. It was very pleasant to be with you, to talk to you, and to work with you. See you next time. Goodbye.